Miss Ethel, can we get us some coffee for our guest? A coffee will be the one. Thank you, Miss Ethel. That's all. Hello, I'm welcome for a presentation of our new exciting product that our sales team would like to present to you. These are brand new headphones, the Jabra Evolve 75. They have no cables, and now they are with a microphone.
Ever been to a meeting with a salespeople? It's horrible. It's actually a little better if it's not in person, but if it's in person, you will get cool gadgets afterwards, so maybe it's worth your time. Anyway, today a review of those Jabra Evolve 75 headphones. Just a small disclaimer, I had those headphones for work and I got them from the company I work for, so that's pretty nice of them. And in general, I was looking at buying them some time ago, but well, to be honest, I wouldn't generally recommend this, and we would be comparing them, so roughly $300 headphones, against those, for comparison's sake, because those are for roughly $15. So you know, let's take a quick comparison. So I will just make some points, and I did a review of those, but well, maybe you remember it. And so in general, those Jabra headphones, what they are for? In general, they are for office setting, where you work on a lot of conference calls during whole day and so on. You have a nice mic, you have a lot of buttons and so on, and that's generally exactly what they're for. And what you get in a box with them is this box where they can live. There should be a 1.5 or 2 meter cable, Jabra branded, very orange cable like here, but I misplaced this somewhere. And in this little box you also get the USB key that you will put into your laptop. Otherwise, they are also compatible with Bluetooth phones. And for the whole set, at least what I had, you also get this docking station, which is basically a cable extension with a small LED here that will light during charging, so it can look like this. I'm not sure if you enjoy knickknacks like that, but I generally charge this with a cable, and that's it. So the important part, for me at least, are those headphones and the USB plug, and which is actually something that other companies don't do, as far as I saw. What exactly happens, because on PCs, so mostly Windows 10 devices, the Bluetooth is horrible, and even though it has a very nice Bluetooth capability, it's the connectivity and so on, it's not great. And if you are already using your Bluetooth for your mouse, keyboard, or maybe something else, it can interfere with the connectivity with your headphones if you also have them connected over Bluetooth. So that applies to those, obviously. And well, that's why they went with this plug, so you can connect up to, if I'm not mistaken, you can connect, I think, up to 8 Bluetooth devices, have them paired up, and also this PC. So you have, let's say, paired up 9 devices in total, which is really good, and you can use 2 devices at the same time. I mean, have them connected, because the sound won't merge, but you will have a connection. So for example, you're listening to a music from your phone, and then you get a call and you pick it up seamlessly. But what they underline, the music won't pause on the other device, so just keep that in mind, which could be convenient. I mean, I would love to see them fixing this, or having the headphones cooperate somehow, for example, and mixing the 2 sound sources, but well, that isn't applicable here. So what we have here, Here we have a micro USB port, unfortunately, but since those are, I think, 2017 devices, that's what you get. LED switch, if you that's with a swivel here, and that's off on, and Bluetooth pairing, that's a Bluetooth connectivity. I think that's a mic because it has several mics. That's a up down button, and the middle one, that's a microphone mute button. And if you have this connected to your PC, if you put it like so the reach the top of the headset with your microphone, it will automatically mute. You don't have to press this button, but if you are working like this, you just want to mute for a second and then unmute, you can do that. You also have a lot of voice assistance, and well, just please look in the manual. There is a way to turn it off and replace it with sounds. There is also an application on the PC and on a Mac, but I couldn't find one for Android or iOS. With that application, you can adjust the sounds, the tone of the sounds, and a few additional settings. Maybe I will be able to mention those, or turn off the voice assistant and replace those with just sounds or beeps and boops. On the other side, you have a single button, and that's a listen in button, and also active noise reduction button that you would turn on or off, and that helps keeping your calls clear and so on. There's also additional mic here, so you have two mics, and this is a third one, but possibly two on the end. That helps a lot with noise reduction, and this is really great. I mean, they are really cool for calls, and if you have long meetings and you just want to send up, stretch out, and so on without worrying about the cables, they are actually pretty cool using this. And the manufacturers say it has 14 hours of battery life, but there's one thing that they are constantly transmitting, so that means that 14 hours of total battery life, so it doesn't matter if you use them or not. You have to keep in mind to switch them off if you stop using them to conserve the battery life. And the USB thing here, what is actually seen from a PC perspective, it's a sound card basically with out and in, so let's say mic and speakers, to put it simply, and that's how PC will see your headphones once you connect this little USB thing. You can also use Bluetooth on your PC, but this is much more convenient, and it works much better. Shame that I think there isn't available USB-C plug, but for newer laptops that could be helpful also. It's still, there wasn't a revision to have a newer charging port. As I said, I would compare them a little bit to those cheap headphones. You can get basically those headphones. They have neodymium magnets like these. I mean the speakers, the drivers inside. So, and they're, I think, 40 millimeters like these. They're almost the same and so on. So if you take think a little bit about this, the hardware inside is very similar, and those can cost the type of headphones. Basically, the Chinese knockoffs Bluetooth headphones with those kind of speakers can cost anywhere from $10 to $40 roughly. You're usually better off just buying those for $20. They have some pleather everywhere, and yeah, that's cool. But also those headphones have pleather. This isn't a leather thing, and it has holes to let let me turn that off. It has some holes to let the air out, so it wouldn't press on your ears. And the headband is, I think, silicone, so it's not as nice as this one for some reason. At least I think it's much more durable. And one more thing, this will never swivel, so you can forget about it. But at the same time, you can bend it and really don't care. Bend it and adjust it to your head perfectly. and set it up just like you love it. These are, well, a little bit more clunky because you cannot bend it. I mean, I wouldn't bend $300 headphones to shape of my head in case I will break something. And this isn't exactly working perfectly because there is nothing to stop those. While this basically stops in the same position, and often I just take off this off my head and put it down, and they will be in the same setup I had before, and those would be like so or something like that. So each time I put those on my head, I have to adjust the headband. But they do swivel, they fit the ear perfectly. I mean, that could be a good thing and a bad thing, because let me follow up with something. I often work in the morning and it's very quiet, and if I put those, it's fine, nothing to worry about. They do not fit perfectly, so there isn't a perfect sound isolation. These fit perfectly, and there is actually passive sound isolation apart from that ANC. But the thing is, they fit so well, then you can hear the electronics inside, and I'm not sure if that's, because I tried to hear for this on those headphones, and I couldn't hear it. So these are the cheap ones, right? And I could hear electronics in those, which was, in a quiet room in the early morning without any movement and so on. It was really annoying. And also, after a long calls, there were, I was waiting for someone to do something and then get back to them, tell them to do something, and so. But we stayed on the call, so I was still listening through those headphones, and it started to be really annoying. Let me play a little bit of how that exactly sounds.
14 hours battery remaining. No device connected.
So I'm not sure if that's the problem with the headphones themselves, somehow, if that's a problem with, with my hearing, because it should cut out those high frequencies, but I'm not sure if that's really high, from what I heard, and I really hated that. So after some time, I always, I tried them for 3 days straight, no other headphones, but after that, I just couldn't wear that constantly. So I kept switching the headphones to my normal computer connected cable headphones, and these are only for calls. They are really good. The microphone quality is amazing, and I will show you in a moment how does it look like in a crowded street over Bluetooth. So even worse quality than this one. So it's really great with sound cancellation and so on. But I just, I'm sure that this is for a noisy office environment and so on, but they could just fix that. I mean, that filtering should be there. So that's what I had a problem with, and it didn't matter if these were connected to something, or connected over Bluetooth, connected over USB, with ANC on, with it off, all kinds of settings. I basically tried everything. So let me skip to the part where I test those on the streets, and let me show you how they sound. Okay, so now the mic is outside. Now I have the mic inside the cup.
ANC on.
This is how recording sounds outside on a busy street. As you can hear, it should be very audible. The main problem is that I have a blinking blue light, so I would be a little bit worried, going home at night. So that was Bluetooth, and it's really amazing. And then when connected over USB, the microphone quality is even a little better. So that's really cool. It cancels the noise and so on. Yeah, these are really good. If especially I was thinking for people that are somehow on the road or in the busy places, they could be actually much better than when they are used in the office, which could be a little bit too quiet. I mean, I work in all kinds of offices, and in noisy ones too. So yeah, and so maybe if your office is a little bit crowded and you don't mind those high notes, yeah, maybe it's good for you to use them, because they would last for a whole day, and then you can plug them in so they would be ready for another day. I'm not sure if I can recommend this, because for me that's a paperweight mostly, but plugging those in to charge them overnight. Now let's go through functions a little bit. I mean, at least the buttons. So the thing is that once you turn those on, this button is during normal usage to pick up and drop calls and also disconnect. All the details are in the instructions on their website, especially since they can be updated so the firmware can change. If you press up and down button, it enables the busy light, so the red light, so that shows you that you're busy or something. That could be helpful if people are annoying you, but they need to be aware of that busy light means something. This is a volume control. If these are connected over Bluetooth, holding this for 2 seconds will pause or play your current track, also pick up or drop a call, but you have to press this for 2 seconds, which is a little bit weird. The mute button works really well, so you can mute your microphone, and also if you it also works with Teams, and this is mainly for Teams, this whole headset. So if you are working, you will have to look into this, but because I'm not sure. But I'm personally working with several communicators that includes Skype, Teams, I think GoToMeeting, the Cisco WebEx, Zoom, and something else. I cannot even remember. Oh yeah, Google Meet. So, and this only works for Teams, and you can set it up for Skype, for business only. So, yeah, not that great. Also, the mute function works regardless of what you have set up. You can also enable in the desktop application a beep. That's a bit of sound that will happen every, I think, a minute when you are muted, so you know you are muted and you are still muted, so you cannot, it won't be, you won't have a panic that you're saying something on the call that you shouldn't have. So it will keep that there is a type of sound, and in general sounds that they present are very good. Here, as I said, is the active noise reduction. I showed it on the video earlier. This is interesting. This is that listen in button that will enhance all the sounds, so it won't pause music, it won't drop calls, it won't hang out anything. This is completely different. So I think what it does, it exactly plays the sounds through those two microphones, but amplified, so you will hear exactly. Well, I cannot find a use for that, to be honest, because I usually want to pause or say something that I cannot talk right now, or do all kinds of other stuff. But this is quite amazing. What if you get those headphones, go outside in the early morning and listen to the environment. It's really something. You will be able to hear birds far away and so on. And generally that's it. These are the functions here. The last thing is just a quick tip, because you can replace those ear caps, you have to press down really hard and start turning. So you have to do something like this, and it is really hard. There are no, let me turn this off. There are no guides on this because I was looking at this you have to turn oh yeah, here we have it, and you can pull these off to replace those if you need, and it's really hard to do, and you will be afraid that you will break something, but to clean those off you probably will have to do this at some point. So there you have it. That's what I think. Also a little bit off topic, because these are not meant exactly for that, but just how's the music, how does this play the music actually. So these are incomparably better at each and every part of the playback. I mean, they do have a play pause button, and these are, you don't have to hold it for 2 seconds to pause it, which is weird if you want to pause this instantly. And these are, they do not have a pleasant bass. These have a warm bass and low end. They mostly focuses, maybe that's due to software, how they are meant to be used. They mostly focus on the middle and the high ends. With that beeping, it's not exactly pleasant to listen to. It just isn't for me, to be honest. If the battery dies on you, you have to plug this on with the USB. So instead of that, you will have to plug this on with a micro USB cable. Here you can just plug it in any jack port, and that's it. So the battery life here, if you're curious, these are 6 to 8 hours. So let's say 7. These are the manufacturers say 14, but I would say 12. To be honest, when I tested them, and also they play the sound where they are low, but it should be at 5%, but it wasn't. So that's something to look out for. It's better if you plug them in instantly once you hear that, because they will just drop off, just gone completely. There won't be any reminder, nothing. They're gone after, I think, 10 or 15 minutes after that sounded low battery or something. These will remind you several times. I also have similar headphones that will show the battery life on your phone. These will say the battery life when you turn these on or press a button. They have this functionality, but they won't show the battery life on your devices. Okay, to sum this all up, do I recommend it? Actually, I kinda do. They are kinda expensive from what you get. I love this little plug here that will fix the audio on your PC, the wireless audio. So that's a plug and play solution. It's really great. I like this. I like that they swivel and can be adjusted, so that may be important for you. But in general, it's just okay-ish. I think they are a little bit too warm. They fit too well. I mean, that could be a complaint, and also but personally, I think that's a little bit of complaint because of the pleather and how they fit a little bit too well. I there may be something wrong with me, but I started to sweat on my ears after 2 hours. I like the buttons, but the functionality is just the play pause, the pickup from your phone. So they also are very they work very well, but to be honest, if you don't sit all day on a conference calls, I guess just use your standard iPhone headphones with the mic, or Samsung ones. Just plug them in, and if possible, install an app on your phone, and that way have a wireless connection. So these are really good for the office setting, actual office setting, and the conference calls. Personally, I don't think they are good for music. The high pitched sound is a complete turn off for me. And they work really well because they actually do plug and play. They integrate with the main communicator they are made for, so the Teams and the Skype for Business if you're still using that. So this is really good, but Otherwise, and you know that mute button is also really important, but otherwise I'm not sure if I can actually recommend those for those price. Those are horrible for calls, so forget about it. But for music, for the enjoyment, you know, for doing stuff, even though they have their own problems like switch buttons, switch sides, but you can still wear them in reverse and so on, limited battery life, I actually prefer those a lot more, and they are much more comfortable for me. I may be weird, maybe there's something wrong with me, but so, you know, 20 times as much. But yeah, these 4 calls, I can recommend that if you are sitting for 4 hours daily, go ahead. That's I think that's a good price. The $300. That also depends, you know, on your earnings, but in general. But if you don't mind, if you want to have those, but if you don't mind just plugging in your wired headphones with a mic that you get with your phone, that could be a better solution actually. So that's depend how much you have to optimize your workflow. So that is really important, and that's something that you have to decide. So I think I made a pretty good statement on what you can expect from those. I know that they kind of are a little bit longer than the tooth and so on, but I kind of expected a little bit more for $300 headphones. I personally wouldn't buy those. I would go with my wired ones, and so that basically ends my quest, because I was looking if I will put a card here. I was looking for Bluetooth headphones that would be acceptable for calls, and to be honest, recently even I have those and I use those on my PC, but if I can not be on a video call, I just grab my phone and connect those wired headphones, and it's much more comfortable. It's in my hand, I can mute myself anytime I want. I do not have to, you know, lean here and press the button. So there you have it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions about these, hopefully I can answer those in the comments below. And see you guys next time. Go ahead and grab that free concentration music. Tell them that I sent you.